Anda kembali lagi di Prime Words dan saat ini kami masih bersama dengan Duta Besar Prancis untuk Indonesia, His Excellency Olivier Chambard. Okay, Ambassador, let's continue our discussion on the relation between Indonesia and also France. We do know that France is not one of the biggest or the main investors in Indonesia. So we want to know, what is the challenge here? Is it because of government regulation, the ease of doing business, or maybe some other factors?
Well, Indonesia is a very competitive market. Because it's a very dynamic market with a lot of potential. So French companies are present here in number. We have 200 French companies which are employing a bit more than 50,000 Indonesian workers. So it is not just commercial sales that the French companies are aiming at, but investment, local production, for the Indonesian market, but also for the regional market. So the French companies are contributing also to the trade balance of Indonesia. The difficulties, well, the first difficulty is to be the best, to fight the competition. So that's just the same everywhere. We are following quite closely the efforts of the Indonesian government to implement new regulations to ease investment, to make it more easy to the omnibus bill is something that the French economic sector is looking at. There's certainly a willingness of French companies to invest more in Indonesia. Of course, the COVID-19, the pandemic situation has made it a bit more difficult for French companies, and especially new French companies, to come here. A number of delegations, of business delegation, were supposed to come, and it has been postponed. But I'm confident that in the second part of this year, there's going to be a new impetus in the investment policy of French companies in Indonesia.
Okay, and as you know, Ambassador Chambard, we're currently building the whole ecosystem for electric vehicles or EVs. So how does France see maybe the potential of investment in terms of the electric vehicles industry?
There's a great potential. France is present in the nickel production here with a French company, Eramet. We are looking at it very closely because it's the future for the automotive industry. So France is keen not to miss this opportunity. We have to see how Indonesia is playing that, because will it be possible still to import the transform raw product, or will it be produced here, the batteries? So we still have to wait for all the regulations, but certainly it's a sector of investment which is very important for the French automotive sector.
Mm-hmm. But do you think Indonesia is quite competitive if we compare Indonesia and to the other, maybe Southeast Asian countries?
Well, Indonesia has the nickel, the product itself, so it's a huge advantage, which all the other countries do not have, or not in the same proportion. So certainly Indonesia is in a very strong position. So I think it's a land of investment for this production. Now, of course, we'll have to see in terms of opportunities how it's done, what are the conditions for our companies to be present. But I'm sure they are looking at it very, very closely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Ambassador, you talk about nickel. So is there any maybe a bigger investment coming to Indonesia from France in the year of 2022?
In nickel, I'm not sure. You know that we have some of the biggest French companies who are here. Just mentioning L'Oréal, which is having developed one of its biggest plants not far from Jakarta. Danone, who's also very present with the aqua business, but not only aqua business. We have Michelin, the tire producer, which is among the biggest producer of tires in the world, who's investing here, and I think has planned to invest more. So all those already present are really investing and want to invest more. I cannot pinpoint just one because it will be not fair for the others, but certainly, and now we are hopefully at the end of the COVID-19 pandemic, you're going to see a bigger, even bigger investment, French investment in Indonesia.
Okay, we do hope that there will be more investments from France coming to Indonesia in the next maybe couple of years, Ambassador Chambard. And moving on to trade, if we look at the numbers have stayed the same or stagnant over the last 3 years. So what is the challenge here, Ambassador?
There's a challenge. I think one of the challenge is to have more medium-sized French companies being present on the Indonesian market. I think that's maybe something which is a weakness of ours, and we have to work to attract more medium-scale industries in Indonesia, French medium-scale industries in Indonesia. And we, as the embassy, the French authorities in France, are making a lot of efforts to attract those companies to Indonesia, to present the market with the help of the Indonesian authorities. That's why I think the preparation of delegations, business delegation, is very important, and COVID-19 didn't help, I must be frank.
Yeah, Ambassador Chambard, we do see that there is a deficit of the trade balance between Indonesia and also France. So, in your point of view, what other commodities that maybe still have the opportunity to increase the trade between France and also Indonesia?
Well, there are so many that it's difficult to enumerate all of them. I think one of the sector which we have to work more, and where France is having a very sophisticated approach, is the renewable energies. We have already here present in Indonesia several French companies who are doing works in the renewable energies like NG or EDF, helping Indonesia in this sector. So I think that apart from all other sectors which are important also, this is a sector that we must give a bigger focus even.
Okay, moving on, Ambassador, this is the second term that President Joko Widodo is in office. So we want to know, what is your view on his presidency for the second term?
Well, the reform of the laws for attracting investment is something which is, I think, the one, if not the biggest priority of President Jokowi. And as representing a country who is investing in Indonesia, it's something we are quite satisfied with and following very closely. So that, I think, will be remembered as one of the main, as a cornerstone of Pak Jokowi's presidency.
Okay, thank you very much. Very interesting discussion today. Thank you very much, Your Excellency Olivier Chambard, for your time and also discussion with us. Have a very good day to you. Merci.
Thank you.
Dan demikian dialog kami CNBC Indonesia Beyond Business.